What if I told you that the smartest phone buyer alive and the person who just got scammed are separated by a single habit? There are 7 levels of phone buyer, and you're going to find out exactly which one you are. We're counting down from level 7, the buyer who actually makes money every time they upgrade, all the way down to level 1, and level 1 is going to make your stomach drop. Level 7. The strategist. The buyer who treats a phone like an asset instead of a purchase. Here's the tell. The strategist never buys on launch day, and they never sell whenever they happen to feel like it. They buy and sell on a calendar most people don't even know exists. Think about what that actually means. A brand new phone loses somewhere between 15 and 30% of its value in the first 3 months after a newer model launches, and 30 to 50% in the first year. The strategist knows this cold. So, when the new flagship drops and everyone else is lining up to pre-order, the strategist is buying last year's flagship at a crater price because a last-generation flagship at a discount beats every single current mid-range phone on the market. And when they sell in the window. Nearly 70% of an iPhone's yearly value drop happens in one quarter, the one with the September keynote. So, the strategist lists their old phone in late August, 3 to 6 weeks before the announcement, and catches the top of the market before the algorithms reprice everything overnight. They also buy the brands that hold value. An iPhone Pro keeps 60 to 70% of its worth after 2 years. A lot of Android flagships are down 50, 60, even 70% in that same stretch. The strategist isn't loyal to a logo. They're loyal to the math. And here's the part that stings. Because they buy low and sell high, a strategist can run a top-tier phone for years and pay almost nothing to own it. The phone you're holding right now, the one you'll toss in a drawer in 2 years, they'd have turned into cash months before it went cold. That's level 7. Now let's see where most people actually live. Level 6. The researcher. One rung down, and it's a great place to be. The tell for a researcher is simple. They never buy a phone based on the box. They read real reviews, they watch real battery tests, and they check one number almost nobody thinks about: the software support date. Here's why that matters more than any spec. For about 78% of people, it's not a cracked screen or a dead battery that ends a phone's life. It's the day the updates stop. And that cutoff has nothing to do with price and everything to do with brand. Some makers now promise 7 years of updates. Others quietly abandon a phone in 2. The researcher knows the difference before they spend $1. They also can't be fooled by the spec sheet theater. They know a bigger megapixel number does not mean a better photo, because image quality is decided in the lab, not on the marketing slide. They know AI enhanced on a camera often means nothing you can actually see in a real low-light shot, and they usually buy the phone unlocked, straight from the maker, because a carrier version comes loaded with bloat, and an unlocked phone holds around 35% more resale value. The researcher doesn't overpay, and they rarely get burned. The only thing standing between them and level 7 is timing. They buy the right phone. They just don't always buy it at the right moment. And if that sounds like the phone sitting in your pocket right now, you're closer to the top than you think. Level 5. The loyalist. Now we're stepping into the biggest group of normal, reasonable people watching this video. The tell for a loyalist is that they picked a side years ago and they've never looked back. Same brand, same ecosystem. Upgrade every couple of years. Done. And you know what? That's not a bad way to live. The loyalist upgrades on a sane schedule, usually every 18 to 24 months, right around the time the battery starts fading and trade-in values are still healthy. They use the official trade-in program, they get real credit, And they never touch a sketchy marketplace. They're safe. But safe has a price, and the loyalist pays it quietly. Because they never shop across the fence, they don't know that the other ecosystem might have held its value better, or that they're paying a premium for the comfort of never having to think about it. They take whatever their brand hands them, at whatever price the brand decides, on the brand's schedule. That loyalty is worth something in convenience. It just isn't free. The loyalist is one good habit away from level 6. All they have to do is check a review or a resale chart before the next upgrade, instead of clicking buy on autopilot. And if you've bought the same brand 3 times in a row without ever comparing, don't feel called out. Feel warned. Because the next level is where the money really starts leaking. Level 4. The launch day faithful. The person who pre-orders the newest model every single year at full price on day 1 because it's new. And look, no shame in loving new tech. But let's be honest about what it costs. The launch day faithful pays peak price and then immediately rides the steepest part of the depreciation curve straight down. Remember, the biggest value loss happens in that first year. So buying at the top on launch day means eating the single most expensive stretch of a phone's entire life every year on purpose. And if they've fallen for a foldable, it's worse. Some folding phones lose more than 60% of their value in 6 months. The launch day faithful gets a real, genuine working phone, which is the only reason they're still in the top half of this list. But they're the industry's favorite customer for a reason. They pay the most, they wait the least, and they never ask what the same phone will cost in March. Level 3. The spec sheet victim. The buyer who gets hypnotized by big numbers. 200 megapixels, 100 times zoom, a screen refresh rate they will never once notice. The tell is that they buy the story on the label instead of the phone behind it. And the industry builds phones specifically for this person. It's why the mid-range, the $400 to $700 zone, is quietly the worst value in the entire market. Here's the ugly little secret. The core chip inside a phone costs roughly the same, whether the phone is cheap or expensive. So in a mid-priced phone, that fixed cost eats a huge chunk of the budget, leaving pennies for the screen, the camera, and the build. The result is a phone that reads like a flagship on paper and feels like a compromise in your hand. The spec sheet victim paid $700 for the biggest numbers, when a last-year flagship at the same price would have beaten it in every way that actually matters. They didn't get robbed, but they got outmarketed. And the fix is almost insultingly simple. Stop reading the spec sheet and start reading the reviews of the specific phone. Because the number on the box is written by the same people trying to sell you the box. The one in your hand right now, go check what it actually scored, not what it promised. Level 2. The gray market gambler. Now we cross the line from paying too much to possibly losing it all. The tell for a gambler is a deal that looks too good and a checkout that skips the one step that matters. They find a sealed, unlocked flagship for a few hundred under everyone else, from a seller they've never heard of, and they buy it without ever checking the phone's identity. Every phone on Earth has a unique 15-digit fingerprint called an IMEI. You can see yours right now by dialing *#06#. If a phone was reported lost, stolen, or has an unpaid balance, that number gets blacklisted, and a blacklisted phone is blocked from the networks forever. No factory reset fixes it. It looks perfect, it powers on, it fools you completely, and then one day, it simply stops connecting. The gambler skips the check. They pay by wire, or gift card, or friends and family, the exact payment methods with no recourse. So the second the money leaves, it's gone. They trust stock photos instead of real ones, and a wall of 5-star reviews that all landed in the same week with nearly identical wording. which is manufactured trust, not real trust. And when a flagship is priced 30 to 50% below the real market, it is almost never a bargain. It's counterfeit, it's blacklisted, or it's a phone that will never arrive. Sometimes the gambler wins and gets a great deal, but they're rolling dice with hundreds of dollars, and the house is patient. All it takes to climb out is one habit. Check the IMEI, pay with something you can dispute, and walk away from urgency. Do that, and the phone you're eyeing right now can't hurt you. Level 1. The scammed. The bottom of the ladder, and the reason this video exists. This is the buyer the entire underground economy is built to catch, and it doesn't always look reckless. Sometimes it's just one missed step. Here's how they get you. There's the switch, where a seller shows you a flawless phone during the meetup, then hands you a different, dead one in an identical box, and you don't notice until they're long gone. There's IMEI cloning, where a scammer copies a clean phone's fingerprint onto a stolen one. So the number you checked looks fine right up until the whole thing gets blacklisted out from under you. There are the fake unlock sites that ask for your IMEI and a payment for an instant unlock that doesn't exist, and now they have your money and your phone's identity. There are counterfeit phones that look like the real brand, run a faked version of the software, and don't even show up in the official databases. And at the very bottom, there's the $80 flagship on a marketplace ad or a fake storefront where you send the money and receive a photo, a display dummy, or absolutely nothing at all. This isn't rare, and it isn't small. In a single recent year, more than 5 million devices were reported stolen worldwide, and telecom fraud costs the industry around $39 billion a year. Here's the one that gets even careful people. Never post your own IMEI publicly in a sales listing because a scammer can clone it or maliciously report it, and getting your own phone unblacklisted can take months. The scammed isn't stupid. They were just in a hurry, and hurry is the one thing every single scam on this list needs to work. So if you made it all the way down here, you've just seen the whole ladder, from the buyer who profits on every upgrade to the one who loses it all in a single click. And here's the thing worth remembering. Nobody is permanently stuck on their level. Every rung is just a set of habits. Check the software date. Read the review, not the box. Verify the IMEI. Pay with something you can dispute. Sell in the window. Buy last year's flagship. Do a handful of those, and you climb. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell, because every week we put the information back where it belongs, in your hands, before you spend a dime.